My name's Lachie Ash-Smith and I'm one of the podiatrists here at Soul Podiatry, and today we're going to have a little chat about forefoot capsulitis. So capsulitis is an inflammation of the joint capsule, usually linked to some sort of overload of the capsule and joint itself. The joint capsule is this really thick, fibrous and ligamentous structure, and its role is to support and stabilise the joint. So in the case of the forefoot capsulitis, we're talking about the metatarsophalangeal joints or balls of the feet. Most commonly, we'll actually see the second joint impacted, but that said, it can impact any of the joints of the forefoot. With runners and walkers, this is probably the most common forefoot pathology that I see come into the clinic, and a lot of that is just based on the actual mechanics of running. We put a lot of repetitive stress and strain through the forefoot, most commonly at the propulsion and takeoff phases of gait, but sometimes at contact as well. So when this comes into the clinic, generally patients will report sharp or burning pain within the joint, more plantar than dorsal, or like a deep bruisey sensation. There can often be the feeling of a lump under the ball of the foot, or we can see some focal swelling. You'll often hear reports of it being worse when barefoot or when standing on feet for long periods of time. How this arises is multifactorial. So big things we look for are a load component. So have we increased running or walking volume? Are we doing more hills, stairs, inclines, maybe more trail running? Or are we doing more sprint and speed work than we had in the past? Especially with track work, we're going to be a little bit more forefoot dominant, so higher forefoot loading. We also then need to consider the function of the foot. So looking at our gait, functional movement, but also is there any stiffness and restrictions or blockages at the big toe joint? Are we overusing the lesser toes, or is the midfoot or ankle not functioning as efficiently as we need it to? In terms of management, we need to consider a couple of things. Most importantly is load, so reducing the load of that joint, whether it's padding, strapping, wedging, offloading. And we also need to look at adjusting your activity load. The goal is to keep you active while reducing those factors that might aggravate you. So potentially, speed work or hills. But again, work with your allied health team to sort of come up with a plan that suits. But the most important thing, and this is where I work closely with the running company, is in regards to footwear. And we have so many shoes and options now that can help to make a massive difference with pain and function with this condition. So things that I like to look for in shoes are forefoot rockers that are quite aggressive, or a carbon plate, just to help with some of that bend and flex through the forefoot. Looking at the amount of cushioning in the shoe. Do we need more cushioning or maybe a slightly more dense cushioning so we don't sink in? We need to consider the forefoot fit, so making sure we have enough width and the toe box shape is suitable. So do we need something that's a bit more squarer? Because we want to reduce that compression through the forefoot. And lastly, we want to make sure we have good ground contact. So more ground contact underneath the foot so that we've got more surface area in shoe to spread that pressure across. But hopefully that gives you a little bit more insight into capsulitis, and I might see you out running soon. Thanks.